This is part 2 of the 5R approach to healing your gut. All right, so now we're going to move on to the second step. The second R is replace. We want to replace with digestive factors. We want to make sure our digestion is optimal so that we are breaking down our foods and getting optimal nutrition and being able to extract our nutrients, because so many nutrients are needed to help heal our gut and also to run various processes in our body. And we look at 3 areas to make sure you're having enough digestive factors in each of these areas. So number 1 is stomach acid. You need a certain amount of stomach acid to help digest your proteins. It also serves the purpose of killing any surface pathogenic bacteria so you don't get an infection. If you have low stomach acid, then your functional medicine provider may recommend certain foods or supplements to help increase your stomach acid, but you want to make sure you do it under supervision. The other digestive factors we look at is if you have enough bile acids, and bile acids help emulsify your fats and digest your fats. And that's important because there are certain fat-soluble vitamins, vitamins A, D, E, and K, that need fat to get absorbed in your body. If you've had your gallbladder taken out, then you may have some issues with decreased bile acid, and you may need a supplement called ox bile, but make sure you work with your functional medicine doctor to determine if you need this. The third area, and the most common digestive factor that can tend to get depleted if you have gut health issues, are your pancreatic enzymes. And there are many reasons why your pancreatic enzymes decrease. Even as we age, they can go down. Certainly if you have a lot of gut inflammation, it affects your digestive enzymes. If you have diabetes, it also can affect your pancreatic enzymes. So you can buy pancreatic enzymes over the counter. They usually have something called lipase. They may have amylase, protease, bromelain, papain, and a bunch of other digestive enzymes. But just find a good one that can help digest your proteins, fats, and starches, because that's naturally what your pancreatic enzymes do. And you just take it with each meal. And if you actually want to get your digestive enzyme tested, you can ask your functional medicine provider for a test called a stool pancreatic elastase. Now, another way to improve your digestion is to eat something called bitters. Bitters are a class of foods or certain herbs that actually help increase your digestive enzymes and support overall digestion. All right, so now we're at the third step, and the third R is re-inoculate. So now that we've removed the triggers in your gut that's going to cause inflammation or disrupt your gut microbiome, and we've improved your digestion, now it's the time to restore and rebalance your gut microbiome through probiotics and prebiotics. Prebiotics are fibers that are found in foods. You can also buy them in a supplement. They help feed your probiotics and your normal gut microbiome to keep it in good balance. So foods rich in prebiotics are garlic, onions, bananas, and asparagus. Asparagus has really good prebiotic fibers. You can also get them in supplement form, and you might see it as inulin or chicory root fiber, acacia fiber, FOS or fructooligosaccharides, or GOS, galacto-oligosaccharides. So you want to make sure you have prebiotics to feed the beneficial bacteria in your gut microbiome. You also want to add the probiotics to help restore those beneficial bacteria. Probiotics come in 3 basic types. The first type is lactobacillus and bifidobacter species. So commonly you'll see these together in a probiotic supplement. They come in many different types of species. The second type is Saccharomyces, and Saccharomyces boulardii is actually a yeast derivative. The third type is something called a spore probiotic. And these spore probiotics are typically Bacillus species. And the nice thing about a spore probiotic is that it is better protected as it gets in with your stomach acid, because your stomach acid can destroy these probiotics. So you always want to make sure that you take your probiotics with food, because that helps give it more protection. But the spore probiotic is encapsulated, and so it can make it down to your large intestine where it's needed a little bit better than some of the other ones. We have 2 more steps to go, and the fourth step, or the fourth R, is repair. As I mentioned before, a lot of people with chronic gut issues will have intestinal permeability or leaky gut. This is where there's a defect in the gut lining, and that allows things to get into the bloodstream that shouldn't get there. and then that just triggers a whole set of immune reactions. And I do have a video on that if you want to watch that. But there are substances such as curcumin, which is the active ingredient in turmeric, collagen, bone broth. Those are all very healing foods for the gut. There are also certain nutrients and supplements such as the omega-3 fatty acids, zinc, L-glutamine, vitamins A and C that also help repair the gut. Naturally, your gut microbiome also produces something called a short-chain fatty acid, and that is also very anti-inflammatory and can help repair the gut. And you can increase those by eating the prebiotic fibers and probiotics. All right, so the last step is rebalance. So you want to have practices in place that help you maintain your healthy lifestyle and good gut health practices, and also help you manage stress. Stress, as I mentioned before, can wreak havoc on the gut because it raises cortisol, and cortisol causes a lot of inflammation. And it's not so much how much stress you have, but it's how you perceive your stress, assuming it's not anything that threatens your life or grief and things like that. I'm talking about normal everyday stress. You have to learn to manage it, and you have to have practices in place such as meditation, journaling, yoga that can help reduce the effect of the sympathetic nervous system that causes cortisol to be released and help lower it. And you can do something called vagal nerve stimulation exercises that activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the opposite of your stress system. And just singing can activate your vagus nerve. Dancing in your room for 15 minutes can help lower your stress. And if that's not your thing, then journaling or showing gratitude or even doing something kind for others can help reduce our stress. You also want to maintain a balanced diet. So you want to rebalance your diet to make sure it includes plenty of fruits and vegetables, because you want to get a variety of colors of phytonutrients from your foods. These phytonutrients are antioxidants, which help your detox process. It also helps reduce inflammation. You want to pick 1 to 2 servings from each of the color groups. And those food color groups are blue, purple, black, which is one group, white, tan, brown, which is another group, yellow, orange, red, and green. But each color of food has a certain phytonutrient that is essential to help various processes in your body. You also want to make sure that you're getting adequate sleep. When you don't get sleep, that raises your cortisol, and again, cortisol causes inflammation. Your sleep is also the time your body heals and repairs. So if you're working out intensely, you're sleeping only 4 to 5 hours a night, your muscles aren't recovering and your gut's not recovering either. So sleep is very important. You also want to have a balanced exercise program. I once had a patient who was exercising intensely 1 to 2 hours a day, couldn't figure out why she wasn't losing weight. She was barely eating anything, and she was doing just these super high intensity workouts. And when we work out, especially when they're intense, it does temporarily raise cortisol. But if you're doing them all the time, then you're going to have chronically elevated cortisol, and this causes weight gain and causes inflammation of your gut, which further causes weight gain. If you are exercising intensely and you're finding that you're not losing weight, you may actually want to scale back and do something lighter, such as just some light walking, maybe some lighter weights, or stretching until your body can balance itself. It's okay to do those higher intensity workouts, but you want to just do it maybe once or twice a week. And everybody's different as far as the level or the frequency that they can do these. So experiment. If you find that your workout plan is draining you and you're having a hard time sleeping, hard time getting up, then those could be signs that it might be too much of an intense workout for you, and you may want to scale back a little bit and do something a little gentler. All right, so there you have it, the 5R approach to healing your gut from a functional medicine framework. Now, it's always best to get with a functional medicine provider. This is a very well-known framework, so they all should be familiar with this. But they can help guide you through this process, how long you need to be in each step. And these steps should go in order, but sometimes we also do them simultaneously. It's just very individualized. So just make sure that you work with your functional medicine provider to create a customized plan for you. All right, well, thanks for watching and have a fantastic day.